In this video, I'll help answer the question, is Costco a buy, hold, or sell? If you don't know me, my name is Tepper and I'm the founder and CEO of Tykr. If you're new to investing or want to get better at investing, rest assured you're in the right place. Here at Tykr, we help people buy and sell stocks with confidence. In this video, we'll touch on three things. Number one, I will summarize the latest news on Costco. Number two, we'll take a look at the ratings in Tykr. And number three, I'll let you know what I plan on doing with this stock. And just so you know, if you want to see the ratings on Costco and other stocks, you can join Tykr for free. All right, let's get started. Here's the latest news. So on their latest earnings report, they increased their net sales by 8%, which is fantastic. They also beat their latest earnings report. We'll get into that within Tykr in a minute. And this is really big. Their e-commerce sales increased by about 13.6%. And then I have to add this comment. I don't rely on analyst ratings because I like to cut through the clutter by using Tykr, but it is another layer of confidence when you have a lot of analysts saying the stock is quote unquote a buy. Well, that's a lot of the language right now. We're seeing a lot of buy ratings as we speak. And one of the key drivers behind that is Costco's membership model. Really smart business model. In fact, if you're a Costco user, you probably see this in your location. They have these scanning systems. You have to scan your card to even get in. Before that, they'd have a human being just kind of looking at your card. And the issue behind that was people were creating these fake cards to get into Costco. Well, now the scanning system pretty much gets away of any of the fraudsters. Now everybody has to be a legit member to even get in, which is creating that reoccurring revenue stream. All right, that's the latest news on Costco. Let's go ahead and dive into Tykr. So we're going to use the seven key steps to determine if a stock is a strong stock or weak stock. There is a feature, there's a tab right here. We're not going to click on it yet, but it'll save you a lot of time. You can also go to the stocks page. Looking at my screen here, you can see stocks and you can create a filter on your favorite stocks, and the 7 is one of those criteria. All right, we'll go back to Costco here. And with Tykr, if you didn't know this already, you can go to Tykr.com, go to education, then down to calculations. You can see the calculations that power Tykr. They are open source for personal use. We just like to create that layer of transparency. All right, so let's walk through the 7. The first step in the process is the summary. Stocks in Tykr are either on sale, watch, or overpriced. It's a great starting point to really cut out a lot of the weaker stocks out there. Part of the reason why I created Tykr in the first place, I would listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, read something on Reddit, or maybe hear something from a friend. And in most cases, I'd have no idea, is this a good stock or a bad stock? Well, Tykr really, it gets rid of all the garbage stocks that could potentially lose my money. So on sale is really hard to get to, and only about 15% of stocks in the market make it to on sale. But anyway, Costco, this first step is watch. It's that middle rating. So we'll keep going here. Next up, we have the score. You want to be over 50. The score is overall financial strength of a stock. So Costco is at 55. And then we want a margin of safety of 50% or higher. That's the upside potential of the stock. In this case, we're seeing 1%. So in order to get to on sale, you need a 50 and 50. If it's only one of those, then it's watch. And of course, if you miss 50 on both, then it's overpriced. All right, we'll keep going here. In the middle, we have the 4M confidence booster. This is another layer of confidence to really wrap up everything. We shouldn't just pay attention to the numbers. I see this issue with a lot of analysts as well as influencers on YouTube, is they only look at the math. That's not the entire picture. You need to go a step further and look at businesses like Warren Buffett does, which is looking at the business model, the competition, and the leadership. So there's a framework, thank you to Phil Town on this, which is called the 4Ms. Well, we want to step further and put a patent on this process here, but it's the 4M confidence booster. And this could, if you did it manually, it could take you hours, if not days of research. We reduce that to seconds. So here we go. Here are the 4Ms. I'll show you what this looks like. You've got the math parts, which is that summary, score, and margin of safety. Then you have the meaning. That's how the business makes money and how scalable the revenue streams are. Then you have the moat. That's how the business compares to other businesses in the same sector and industry. And then you have the management. That's the track record of the CEO. If you go to the next screen, and we're not going to go through this, I'll just save you time here. It takes about a minute or so to go through, but we want to gamify this experience. So we're going for 80 to 100 is high confidence in the stock, 60 to 79 is moderate, and 59 or lower, you probably want to run for the hills. Don't touch that stock. All right, I'll close that and let's go to the main page here. We're averaging right now 74. This average comes from other members in the Tykr community. They can do a 4M on their own and then we roll up the average. So 74 is still pretty good. So getting over 70 is pretty hard to do, but it's not at the 80 we're looking for, so we're not going to get a point there. Let's keep going. Next up, scroll down. This is the 5-year charts. You can set your durations to whatever you want. I like to set this to 5 years, and the reason is we want stocks that consistently beat the market. We know that past performance does not guarantee future results, but we like stocks that consistently beat the market year over year over year. And a good number to remember is 80%. That's typically what the S&P 500 returns, give or take. And we can see here that Costco is at 151. So we're going to get a point here. That's great. All right, we're almost done. Moving on to the financial statements. We can see here EPS, this is the number one most important line on the financial statements. And we are seeing this is slow and steady, wins the race, but check this out. We're seeing these 3 quarters. We go from $4.03, up to $4.29, and then up to $5.88. That is outstanding. That might be, look at that, one of the highest quarters to date. That, well done, Costco. Well done. That is a key driver. And if we see more quarters like that increase, that is going to reflect the fair value over here, which reflects the margin of safety. The more a company is increasing its profits, the higher the margin of safety is, all related to profits. Quick pro tip here, we do have a projections tab, which shows a few comparisons on fair value. There are a few different methodologies. We have Rule 1, that's Phil Towns' brand in here, which ours is very similar to Rule 1. There's the Graham fair value, and then there's discounted cash flow. Graham, long story short here, Graham formula was more popular 100 years ago, and discounted cash flow was more popular in the late 1700s. It is no longer the 1700s, so why people still use it, I don't know, but there are some people that are like, hey, can you add discounted cash flow to Tykr? Fine. All right, moving on. Let's go to the earnings calendar. This is the last step in the process, and we can see here they did beat the estimate. That is outstanding. They're at 580 estimate. This is the average estimate of the EPS from analysts on Wall Street, and they came in at 587. Just beat it by a little bit, but it is enough to get a positive there. Now, the key thing here is we're not going to get a point because we need 3 quarters in a row where we're beating the estimate. We're not going to get that. So we're done with the 7. Let's find out what our score is. I'm thinking it's going to be about a 3 or 4. Let's go ahead and click on that. We're at a 3. Okay. All right, so here are my thoughts. This leads up to what am I doing with this stock? Well, I do like Costco because of that reoccurring revenue stream, the membership model. They actually have pretty decent products. I mean, I'm a customer of Costco. I like the business. I like the fact that they are beating the market. They're pretty much doubling it. But I will say this, I am not investing in the stock. They're not in my top 10. They're on my watch list, but they're not in my top 10. Maybe top 25, somewhere in there. I've got a lot of favorites there sitting on the bench ready to go. But I will say this, if I were to gravitate away from some of the tech stocks in my portfolio and look for something that'll kind of diversify a little bit, Costco might move higher on the list. Now, like I said earlier in the video, if you want to see the latest ratings on Costco and other stocks, you can join Tykr for free. Some of the other key benefits of Tykr include knowing when to buy and sell stocks. You can also see my portfolio, and you can connect your broker to Tykr and automate your portfolio tracker. Of course, don't buy and sell stocks based solely on what you hear. Only buy and sell stocks that align with your own personal financial goals. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.